Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I'll be reviewing the right-handed premium version of the VKB Gladiator NXT flight stick. Feel free to check out VKB sites from the links I posted in the description below. I've had this stick for over 4 months now, having replaced the Thrustmaster TCA Airbus Sidestick I previously reviewed. While I like that stick's precision in civilian aviation sims like Microsoft Flight Simulator, I found myself wanting more on-stick controls playing combat sims like Star Wars Squadrons. I read a lot of good things about the Gladiator NXT, so I bought it from VKB's AliExpress Store for $150. You can check out the store page from the link in the description. There are 2 versions of this stick, Standard and Premium. The Standard omits the rapid-fire trigger here, and replaces this mini stick with a 4-way hat switch, and this 4-way hat switch with a standard button. The standard version is also $120, making it $30 cheaper, and doesn't come with spare controls or springs. I opted for the premium version, and this is what I'll be covering in this review. The stick requires some assembly out of the box, but VKB has easy-to-follow instructions on YouTube and provides tools to put it together. This is a plus, since users get familiarized with the inner workings under the hood, and VKB actually offers replacement parts for its products such as springs and switches. In this day and age where you have to fight for the right to repair, this is a big plus for the Gladiator. The build quality of this stick is very good. The materials and controls feel very solid and smooth, with no wiggle or creaking even after 4 months of hard gameplay. The only exception are the function keys at the base, which have a bit of a wiggle, but it's more of a nitpick since input issues were non-existent in my experience. As an added touch, the stick itself doesn't snap back to the center when you let go from the side, which is more in line with how an actual flight stick would work in real life. The level of resistance on the stick itself is just right, and I've spent hours on Microsoft Flight Simulator and Squadrons without feeling any wrist strain. I also haven't experienced any drift or dead zones. VKB used contactless Mars sensor tech for the sensor pitch, roll, and yaw, providing up to 15 bits of resolution for increased sensitivity and precision. Overall, I find it more sensitive and precise than the TCA Sidestick I previously reviewed. Ergonomically, it's all well thought out with all the main stick controls with an easy, unobstructed reach of my fingers, with labels on the controls making it easier to remember. I also like that they included an extra side handrest adjustment, which made the stick's already good fit feel even better. There's a lot of controls at your disposal, with the usual pitch, roll, and yaw axis. A 2-stage main fire control here, a double action lever here, buttons with an easy reach of my fingers, particularly my thumb and pinky, a smooth multi-directional stick, 3 4-way hat switches, 2 rotary dials, and a very smooth throttle. The ergonomics and amount of control available is so good that you could totally get by with not having a separate throttle quadrant with a stick if budget's an issue, and you'll still have a great experience. If I have a point for improvement, VKB's Dev Config Software, which is needed for control customizations, could be more intuitive to use. It has a steep learning curve, and you'll probably need to do a bit of browsing in VKB's forums and do some trial and error to configure the stick. There's a deep level of customization available, and you can set your dials and hat switches to work a certain way with varying sensitivities depending on what you need. For example, I managed to get the EN1 and EN2 dials here set up to work as trim controls for my pitch and rudder in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and it could be set up for similar controls in other games. I left a link to my personal saved custom profile for that in the description below in case anyone's interested. Once you've saved the settings, it's saved on the stick itself, so it remains active even after you reinstall Windows. One last thing, most sims and games will not have its controls mapped to the stick out of the box. It'll take a bit of work and time fine-tuning the stick to get it to work exactly as you want, but it's awesome to use once you do. This stick, along with the TWCS throttle, which I previously reviewed on this channel, have been my 2 sim mainstays. So I'll run through the Spotlight Sirena Station Landing Challenge with Microsoft Flight Simulator, and a short X-Wing practice run in Squadrons to demonstrate how the stick has worked for me. Sirena Station is a small grassy landing strip surrounded by trees, and for this landing challenge I'll be flying a Cessna Grand Caravan. It's hard enough to land a plane, let alone get a good score, I find that deploying flaps early like I just did, and slowing down, keeping my airspeed at the very edge of a stall in the final approach can minimize my stopping distance and helps improve my chances. So at this point, I'm going to make a very slow left turn here. Now with a Gladiator NXT, I can keep the plane steadier at a very slow airspeed, and it gives me an extra edge. And no dead zones means all my input is registered. So I can see the runway, and at this point, it's already getting difficult to see it over the wind, over my instrumentation, so I have to adjust my view. So my approach looks good. It's very slow, and as you can see, the plane's a little wobbly at this point, but the stick just allows me to just make sure that I keep the plane level. So now I have to point the nose down a little and just touch the very edge of these treetops on the way in. So my nose is pointed down, and now I pull up just so I hit the target just about now. And then I have to turn my rudder right and reverse thrust, brake, and stop. Well, that wasn't too bad. So, thanks to the Gladiator NXT, I was able to get a pretty good score for this landing challenge. Phew, that was a tough one. So, moving on to Star Wars Squadrons. This is a practice mission flying an X-Wing against a squad of TIE fighters and interceptors. This game's pretty difficult, and I have a tendency to fixate on my target and forget to manage my shields. And now the action has just started, so let's scratch one. Here I am after one of the other TIEs, and yeah, just as I said, I tend to forget to manage my shields. So now I just got my shields balanced, and I need to dodge a little bit. Ouch, ouch, ouch.
Got a tail!
Okay, so I got a TIE lined up. Got a hit there. Hit a couple of other TIEs. Okay, so that's scratch 2. Oops, accidentally deployed my countermeasures. Running after this other TIE. Got him. So that's half of the squadron down. Whoa! Okay, got it. Got through that one. Yeah, got that other TIE as well. So now it's just these interceptors left. Steady, steady, steady. Yeah, got that other interceptor. How many are left? Two of them? Okay. Alright. Yeah, it's just one to go. Oh damn. Okay,
They're flanking me.
Flanking, there's only one of them left. Okay. Awesome. I'm gonna win. And I got them all. Phew. Oh, that was fun. That's it for this practice mission. There you have it. Comparing it to the TCA Airbus Sidestick, the Gladiator NXT is certainly a class above that in terms of available controls, build quality, and price. To be fair, the Airbus Sidestick is also about replicating the Airbus experience. It's also $100 cheaper. The Gladiator NXT is more of a do-it-all stick that works extremely well for both civilian aviation and combat simulators. 4 months in, and all I can say is that this stick has been an absolute joy to fly with. Hit like or subscribe if you found this short review useful. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe!